All right, I just want to thank you for all being here. My name is Adrian Aguirre. I'm the Quality Projects Group Leader. And now I'd like to hand it over to Jerry Garza for SlipNot.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for coming. We'll go ahead and kick off our QCC. So just real quick, SlipNot is one of our members' favorite band. So we took the idea of a band and incorporated this into our QCC. For those of you for your information. So I'd like to introduce our SlipNot members. Again, we have our band manager. We have Adrian Aguirre, who is our QCC advisor. We have our lead guitarist, Mr. Esteban Venegas. We have our bass guitarist, Mr. Carlos Juarez, who is also our gatekeeper. We have our drummer, Mr. Jerry Tenney, who was our record keeper. And we have our mixer, Drea Nunez, who is a QC member. And I am your lead vocal QC leader, Renato Garza. So our group safety commitment is to always follow the Toyota Cares policy. So just before we start, I'd like to show you our level of assessment and planning. At the beginning, as you can see here, we were a low C, and we'll show our improvements as we go on through our system. So first, we wanted to clarify the problem. So our background, in previous years, 70% of Quality's GIRs was caused by slips and trips. So from fiscal year 17 through 19, the QI department has had a total of 9 slips and trips. So what separates a slip from a trip? Slips are the result of too little friction or lack of traction between the footwear and the floor surface. A trip is a result of a foot striking or colliding with an object, which causes a loss in balance and usually a fall. So our ultimate goal is to sustain and maintain a safe environment for all members. Our ideal situation is to have 0 slips and trips in the QI department. Again, as mentioned, currently we've had a total of 9 slips and trips, which brings us to our gap of 9 slips and trips. I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Venegas.
Thank you, Jerry. So moving on to step 2, breaking down the problem. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to reduce the number of slips and trips in the QI department. Currently, the QI department was sitting at 9 slips and trips. So looking at all of our areas, we looked at DLI, and we saw that DLI had none. AIFI, we had 1. It was unavoidable circumstances with the E-stop being pulled that resulted in a trip. We had 1 in VCI. This was from floor debris. It was a bolt on the floor that resulted in a trip. And then we had our wax process that had 2 slips from the diamond plate having a slick surface. We then looked at our VPSS. We saw that they had 5 slips, and this was also due to the slick surface of the diamond plate and concrete. So we saw the same slick surface on both areas, wax and VPSS, so we decided to combine those for a total of 7 slips that we wanted to target. So step 3 is target setting. So again, we had a total of 7 slips that we wanted to target down to 0. That would give us 100% reduction. And then overall, out of our 9 slips and trips, it would just leave us a gap of 2. So step 4, root cause analysis. We used our man, machine, method, and material. We saw that man was good. They were following standardized work. They were being aware of their surroundings. We also looked at machine. We saw that we had 7 slips at VPSS and wax. Vehicles lined off with excessive water. Blowers were not functioning at all full capacity. Therefore, vehicles lined off with excessive water, and there were 7 slips at VPSS and wax areas. So we looked at our method, and our method was good. There was no obstacles for the team members to climb over or anything like that, so we deemed that as good. When we looked at material, we saw that there were 7 slips at VPSS wax. The team members were losing traction. The floor is slippery. Poor floor conditions. Therefore, the floor is very slippery. Therefore, team members losing traction. Therefore, 7 slips at VPSS and wax. So I would like to mention that we did have 2 areas that we wanted to look at, but the machine already had a countermeasure with the blowers being repaired, but that wasn't giving us 100% guarantee that all the water would be off the vehicles. So we decided to focus on the material. I'll now hand it over to Jerry.
Thanks, Steve. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
going to our countermeasure, what we did notice as we wrote down our proposed countermeasures and we began to score them, that adding anti-slip tape to the floor was the highest score. So we chose to pick this one because that was something that we could do ourselves and in a timely manner. So first thing we did is we took action to thoroughly clean and dry the floor, and we installed the anti-slip tape throughout the staging area and the team member walk paths. So as a result, we noted that after several hours though, the tape began to peel off the floor due to the slip condition. So we deemed this a no good condition, and then we returned back to our countermeasure matrix and we scored this as a no good, and then we rescored our countermeasures, which I'll turn over to Carlos.
Thanks, Jerry. So we went back to the countermeasure selection matrix and we tackled the next heavy hitter, was Detroit water into the drains. So what we did is we yoked on the countermeasure and we got it from audit. We did the same thing they did. We actually socket some lines into the concrete there, trying to divert the water back into the drain. The results were that the Kaizen was perfected, but there was still, as you can see here, there's still water there, which still caused it to be slippery, which caused it to be in a yellow condition.
So again, we rescored, went back to our selection matrix and rescored. So what we did this time was we got together as a group and we started brainstorming together, how can we fix this issue? Well, we did what any normal person would do, and we asked Google, how can we fix this, Google? So we went via internet and looked up how we can improve our flooring system here. So what we did was we found a local company by the name of Texas No Slip. They specialize in making floors slip resistant flooring. So Texas No Slip has 3 different products that we showcased here at the plant. One of them being granitite. So granitite is a slip resistant coating that can be applied to any walking surface. So if you take a look quickly back to the back of, you can see the anti-slip was placed there. That is a non-slip that we added to the diamond plating. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you a quick demonstration of how the granitite works. So here in the center, this is a non-treated area here. Also, this area here is a non-treated, and as you can see here is where we applied the granitite. So you can see the improvement that we were able to show on just a brief demonstration. Another item that we got from Texas No Slip is called Invisigrip. Again, if you look behind you, this is actually on the drive path where you see all the water. It's actually an invisible material that they use, which is an agent that creates a slip resistance by increasing the coefficient of friction on hard material surfaces. So since we're done here with the presentation, I'll take you quickly over there and we can take a look at how this actually works. Again, we have another demonstration to show you. Again, we have center non-treated, the top half here is treated, and this part here, I'm sorry, the top half is not treated, and we have our treated material here. Again, these are Toyota approved shoes, so just, and we did use the different shoes. So another item that we put out in the wax ramp, this is called Top Tread. So Top Tread is also a clear topical floor coating that can be applied virtually on any walking surface. So if you take a look at our before condition here, we had, again, the anti-slip tape that we all have to go and replace at some time. This is the after. Here's the clear topical coating that we put. And so since August of 2019, when the application was applied, we've had 0 slips and near misses over at the wax area.
So step 7, monitoring both results and process. So what better feedback can we get than talking to the team members that are actually in these slippery areas that are actually doing their processes? So we created a survey that we gave to the team members to see if they disliked it or if they had any concerns with that. What we found out was 13% were indecisive and 87% actually favored it and would like to see it in more areas that may have potential slip hazards. So the total QCC savings, we were able to get the 7, hit our target of 7 slips, knock it down to actual 0, which was 100% reduction. I would like to note that all estimated team member cost savings were provided by our safety department using their matrix, And we were able to have an estimated cost avoidance of $102,900.
So step 8, we want to standardize our successful process. So our next steps is we want to start improving our other areas by installing this non-slip material. As you can see here, we've already completed one portion at the sales line. Our next item for business will be VCI lane 1, which will take place this weekend, and lane 2 will begin to take place the following weekend. So I want to yoke attend this to all the shops, but first I'd like to finish up our QI area, and that way we can be able to give more feedback to other areas such as paint, weld assembly, and any other area who would like to try this non-slip. We want to monitor team members' HYP just to confirm there are no sudden changes due to the addition of the flooring. We're going to monitor the longevity, lifespan of this non-slip, and work with the contractor to see how many months we have to do any type of touch-ups or what have you. Again, we want to highly work closely with team members to get their feedback on their likes and dislikes of the anti-slip flooring. And then again, as I mentioned, we're going to do yearly maintenance schedule for any type of touch-ups. One item I do want to highlight is that this made the top 5 SOAR B-Packs. So currently, right now, I'm working with 2 NAMCs who are coming down to this plant just to take a look at this non-slip. Although all NAMCs, they gave me some type of feedback that they do have a non-slip, a majority of these NAMCs do not have the non-slip for concrete and diamond plating. So the feedback I got is they all have for a metal type of flooring. So we would like to introduce for concrete and also for the diamond plating. So we do still have 2 items that are lingering here, which are the 2 trips, which is something that we're going to focus on together as a team, and that's going to be our homework, is how we can improve, how we can sustain these trips. So overall KPI results, we went from 9 to 2, and we're at 80% overall total reduction. So I'd like to share a little tribute that we got from our fellow team members who actually run this line here.
Thank you, SlipNot, for making my process safer.
Thank you, SlipNot, for taking care of my team, for considering my team and myself in their safety with your Kaizen. Thank you, SlipNot, for helping us prevent slip and falls.
Hey, this is J-Rod. I just want to say, since the addition of the non-slip flooring, it has been a huge improvement for myself and my fellow team members' safety. Safety, yosh.
So, in closing, our level of assessment and planning table, as I mentioned earlier, we were a low C. We moved in kind of almost into the B section, but we do feel that there's more improvements that we can make. So we feel like we can utilize so far QCC tools that were given to us, but maybe by joining more QCCs, leading more QCCs, we're able to elevate and maybe get into a mid-B is what we're hoping for. So just some reflections for myself. I was glad to work with these guys, even though a lot of times we did not see eye to eye on a lot of these countermeasures that we're working for. We were able to overcome those issues and come to a consensus as a group and make this process a lot better for team members and for every person who's walking through here, that nobody has to worry about that they're going to slip and trip. Thank you.
Thank you. So reflection for me is it was great to hone in my QCC skills. It was also great to save the company money. I think it was really good to show the team members that Toyota gives this time for us to show that one of the things that Toyota focuses on is the safety for our team members.
Well, my personal reflections coming from a Kaizen group is it was nice working on all these individual slips and falls during this last 6 years independently. It was nice to actually use the tools of Toyota in a team environment to actually accomplish some of these things.
My reflection is that we never gave up. We had all these years to work on it, but we easily could have quit and just said, oh well, but we didn't. Kept on working and working. We're thinking outside the box, so we finally found something. So very proud of that.
All right, thank you for your time. Do I have any questions?
Any of our MSC members would like to give some questions or comments?
Of course, my safety commitment is to understand and eliminate risk in my area. So as I told the group earlier, I am very proud of this group. And I want to echo what Carlos said, you never give up. We've been working on slips and trips for a long time. We've been trying different materials, but it's really good to see the teamwork. You guys got together and you're able to use a QCC tool to come up with 3 really good countermeasures that address the issue. You have the diamond plate, and you have the concrete, and you have the incline. So you were very specific on your countermeasures, and I really want to commend you. Sometimes it's not smooth, but this is the idea behind QCC, is getting together, working out those issues to come up with a solution that works for the entire team. And I think the feedback that you have from the team was perfect, because now you know you work on the issue that impact them and they appreciate it. So thank you guys, I'm very proud of you.
Hi guys, my safety commitment is I'll create a work environment that ensures we stop calm weight during abnormality. I have really just 2 comments. First, I love that in your presentation you shared with us the failure, the things you tried that didn't work, and that you persevered and went on and tried something else and something else. And so sometimes we only see the final result, but for me to be able to see that you did the activity, you did a trial, and you reflected and found something better, and you didn't give up, was really meaningful. And then secondarily, just knowing how to confirm. We get through the countermeasure implementation step, and then it's the confirmation and sustainment. And so going back and checking with the actual customer, the person doing the job, and getting the feedback from the members doing the job, very, very meaningful to know that they appreciated the work that you did and that you gave them a good process. So I commend you for your Quality Circle activity and for sharing all the way through some of the struggles, but also making sure that the final customer enjoyed the product. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My safety commitment is to keep the real always. Very good Kaizen, and I was very surprised that there are so many different types of the material, which non-slip material. And today I think that your effort is coming from strong needs. So you wanted to solve this problem, slip. That's why you could find the many different material, and you could achieve the result. So very good activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, let's give him another round of applause. All right, at this time, Mr. Geronimo is going to pass out some certificates for the team.